Buongiorno from Naples, Italy. I'm Brian with Wanderlust, Wilson Brian, and we are on a 7-day cruise on the brand new Sun Princess. Our stop today takes us to Naples, Italy, where we have a wonderful excursion planned that will take us up to Pompeii and Vesuvius and so on. We're really looking forward to getting this day started in just a few minutes. Not even sure I have time to get a cup of coffee. In the port of Naples with us, there are several ships, inside several ferries, as well as the Norwegian Getaway, and even an MSC ship.
All right, we have made it to our meeting spot. We're about 15 minutes early, so we're waiting for our tour guide. So I booked this tour as a private, independent tour with Discovering Pompeii. Vera is the owner-operator of the company. She's going to also be our tour guide. We will put the link in the description, or you can just reach out to me and I can help you with your trip. But I'm looking forward to it. We're going to see Pompeii first and foremost, and we're really excited about that. And then we're going to have lunch in Sorrento and just do a beautiful tour of Naples. And it's a private tour, so we can kind of shape it to what we want it to be. So I think that's pretty cool. The pricing wasn't a whole lot more than what you pay for a princess tour or any other tour. So I thought it was a great deal. We will see. Looking forward to it.
It's funny to watch all the folks negotiating with the taxi drivers to go different places. And, that may be your thing. I tend to want to have something lined up in advance.
Yes!
So our bus has taken us to the area of Pompeii, which of course still is a city, and now we're headed to the ancient ruins. But there's a nice long line, so we're going to have to go get tickets and kind of figure out how to get into the area. Definitely come with a guide. So there's a lot of folks waiting in line to buy tickets, and there's a lot of people waiting in line. But if you go kind of around the building, which you will get dirty looks, there's a machine where you can buy tickets through your credit card. Much, much shorter line. I think we're like fourth in line.
The ruins of ancient Pompeii are such an amazing sight. As you know, nearby Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD during the Roman Empire. Because this ancient city was covered in a thick layer of heavy ash, much of the city was left buried, but intact. It stayed buried for nearly 2,000 years. This courtyard area was actually used as a theater for gladiators. You can see these walls that are made partially with carefully, evenly laid spaced bricks and partially with rounded stones and mortar. This was done on purpose by the residents of Pompeii in order to give these walls some flexibility and to tolerate the frequent earthquakes caused by Mount Vesuvius. As you'd expect from Roman culture, there is a large theater for live performances of tragedies and comedies. This one would seat up to 1,000 people.
One of the streets of Pompeii.
I was fascinated by the well-preserved and thoughtful roads of Pompeii, laid with basalt blocks. The road system was built with a bit of an angle to ensure water, not just rain, but wastewater, would run off and go out of the city. Here you can see the original stepping stones to help cross the street without stepping in that water.
So they bought the food and they used to sleep in one little rooms up to the shops. You can see there the stairs, okay? So that was the second floor.
This groove in the stone at the entrance to this area right here indicates that this was a shop, and that would have been like a sliding door right there.
Pompeii is remarkable because it was once it was covered by ash and stone and mud and so on. It was left that way for centuries, actually preserving it. So it's one of the best preserved Roman and Greek influenced cities. It's amazing. This was an ancient bakery. Down here was where they would grind the wheat into flour. I think that's an oven back there. Wow, it's like we stepped back in time.
But just outside, you can read the names of the candidates. There are a lot of names, just in front of the...
I hope I can retell this story accurately. This was the home of a wealthy and important politician in ancient Pompeii. In large homes like this, there is an opening in the roof to allow rainwater into this indoor-ish courtyard. The floor in this area was made with a porous material so that the homeowner could catch and save the rainwater in a basin underneath, and then they had a system of pipes and so on to deliver it throughout the house. I love the bright colors and the decor and the frescoes in this home, and each one tells a different story. The huge fresco in the back of the small garden depicts wild animals and an Egyptian-style landscape. This structure and many around Pompeii were unfortunately damaged by bombings in and around 1943.
For the togas, for the important dresses, yes. What they did, they used to press this everywhere because before of the eruption there was the competition for the election.
Rounding out the active Italian volcanoes, that's Vesuvius. And we're in the forums of Pompeii to see Vesuvius. Pretty cool. I love how well preserved this is. It's just amazing.
But also was an interesting.
In the museum now, thank goodness there's air conditioning. This is warm outside. We're in a room with some artifacts that predate the Roman era.
These are not bodies. These are plaster casts of the voids left in the mud and ash of the bodies of people who perished during the eruption. During the excavations in the 1920s, plaster was used to preserve the shape and position of the voids left behind. Unfortunately, many of these plaster casts have also been lost to damage that occurred in the 1940s. I love this piece. You not only see the brightly colored painting, but as you look closer, you can see the etched illustrations as well, telling an even deeper story.
So I think we're wrapping up here in Pompeii. We've got another stop or two to make today. But this has really been great. It's a fascinating area, and to see not only the area that was destroyed by the massive volcano eruption, but also the preservation of Pompeii. It's really neat. It's something you just got to see. Just really feel so immersed in the city. There's 47 acres that have already been uncovered here in Pompeii, and what's funny is at least to me, is that it's a total of 66 acres. So it's still a lot of area that even now hasn't been uncovered underneath the ash and rock. It's crazy to think about. Now we're in downtown Sorrento. Have to grab a bite for lunch. Beautiful area. A couple little nooks and crannies where you can see the water. Just stunning.
Look at how big these lemons are. Absolutely huge. All of that, you can get them full of lemon syrup. There it comes.
So the lemon sorbet, right? It's €8. It's a giant honk of lemon with some sorbet on top. But once you eat the top off of it, there's not a whole lot of sorbet. Honestly, it's just lemon juice. After that, it's delicious, but it's probably a tourist trap for €8.
Let me get it off his nose.
I know. I got distracted. Somebody else walked in. I was like, leave.
Lemon juice.
We're loving Sorrento. It is so beautiful. We've had a wonderful lunch and we've wandered around. We've picked up a few souvenirs. We've gotten a granita or whatever that was in a lemon. Do you see the size of this lemon? Look at that. As big as my hand. And we got plenty of limoncello that we're bringing home.
After we left Sorrento, we of course drove back to Naples, where the ship was docked. We had plenty of time, so our tour guide took us to a few breathtaking areas nearby in the city.
We are standing in Naples, Italy. I'm still not wrapping my head around that. How amazing is that? I mean, just take it all in. It's unbelievable.
Our amazing guide also suggested a few of his favorite pastries from a tiny stand, which we just had to try.
So we had the baba, which was said was kind of juicy, and then we had two different kinds of sfogliatella, SF something, and those were delicious. They had a creamy filling, and then two different kinds of crust. It's somewhat difficult to order, but don't be afraid of it. It's really good.
We are back on the ship from an amazing day in Naples. So the tour was unbelievable. We saw the ruins of Pompeii, and we have with Vera, our tour guide. She took us deep into the history of what happened there, and just an amazing, interesting time listening to her and walking the streets and seeing what it was like more than 2,000 years ago. Unbelievable. Then we went on to Sorrento. We did make a stop on the hill as we're coming down towards Sorrento and got some limoncello, stopped and tasted limoncello and bought a couple bottles and a few little souvenirs, took some pictures overlooking the beautiful sea. And then we went on in with Stefano, took us on into Sorrento and took us to his favorite pizzeria and pasta spot, kind of tucked away in an alley. The prices are a little better than the more touristy places, so I thought that was fantastic. It was delicious. Brian got a pasta dish, I got a pasta dish, Brennan got pizza, all delicious. We wrapped it up with a cappuccino, and then we moved on, headed on back into Naples, and this is our tour guide Stefano's home. So he showed us all the city center of Naples. He showed us the beautiful sights. We didn't have a whole lot of time in Naples, so our driver would just drop us off when we wander around. Just really loved our day here in Naples. All right, let's talk about the cost of this tour. When I reached out to Vera to book this, the deposit was $100, and then we brought the rest in cash to them. So it was a $470 total with what we paid, but that was for 3 people. That included our tour guide for Pompeii, which was Vera herself, and then we also had a private driver in this beautiful luxury van, plus Stefano, who was our tour guide and stayed with us throughout, took us to the best restaurant and the best places. So I thought that was a great price compared to what you can get where you're in a bus with 100 people. I thought that was fantastic because it was completely private, completely what we wanted to do. If we wanted to extend time in places, they would let us do that. He kept up with us. He gave us free time. It was everything we could want for the Naples area. The beauty of booking this direct was, while we were already on the ship a couple days ago, Vera reached out to me and said, I know we were supposed to go to Positano and Amalfi Coast. However, a rock has fallen down one of the mountains and it has blocked the drive into Positano. So we could not make the Positano area is what we were supposed to do. But she's like, I have a plan. We have an alternate route that we will go see Sorrento instead. So I didn't feel like I missed anything. And so I appreciated them being able to pivot, let us know, and still go right on with our tour and not have to cancel anything.